Today marks the end of a significant event in Australia's history, the Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Child Sexual Abuse. Through the Royal Commission we have witnessed the extreme courage of many brave survivors of child sexual abuse, and as a result many significant and important changes have been made. However, we cannot let this mark the end to the groundswell of positive change giving support to survivors of abuse and stopping it from occurring in the future. When Julia Gillard announced the Royal Commission on November the 11th, 2012, I don't think anyone could have imagined the sheer number of stories that would be shared, how widespread the abuse has been, the horrendous nature of the abuse, the devastating trauma it has caused, and the extreme courage of the survivors who would come forward to share their stories. I also don't think anyone could have imagined the significant difference this Royal Commission would have on so many lives. Over the past few years, I have spoken to hundreds of survivors of child sexual abuse. A significant number of these brave, yet damaged people, have also shared their experiences with the Royal Commission. Many of these people have described the experience as a positive one, some have gone as far as calling it life-changing. One of the significant feelings these clients have described is a feeling of validation, of finally being believed. Last year, I spoke with David, not his real name, who had been abused in a children's home in New South Wales. He had been anally raped by a man who was employed to look after the young boys in the care of the foster home he was allocated as a child. He had tried to report the rapes to the head of the home but was disbelieved, called a troublemaker, a liar, and punished with beatings for his call in speaking out. David then carried the burden of the sexual abuse for more than 30 years. He felt an incredible amount of shame and self-loathing. He had low, almost non-existent self-esteem. He did not think he was worthy of being believed, nor did he think he was worthy of any meaningful relationship. He described hating himself during those years, of not caring whether he lived or died. He believed no one would care either way. In 2014 he had seen others telling their stories to the Royal Commission. He saw how they were being treated by the media and being received by the public. People were not laughing, scoffing, disbelieving. People were responding with compassion, with respect, with care. This gave David the courage to come forward and register with the Royal Commission. He was nervous because of his past experiences. He doubted whether he would be believed and was worried he would again be punished for speaking out. What happened was the exact opposite. David described how important he felt having a private session with a commissioner who listened to his story and really wanted to understand what had happened. He spoke about how much of a relief it was for him to receive validation. He told me the commissioner said his was not the first story he had heard about the perpetrator and the institution, and he was aware the perpetrator had been referred to the police. David left that session with the commission with a certificate of thanks, a feeling he could make a difference and stop other abuse from occurring, and most importantly, a new sense of self-worth and dignity.